Hey guys, it's Katie. I wanted to jump in and do a video for the Toddler Topic sort of collaborative project. Something new on YouTube where a bunch of parents can respond to like a certain topic of the week and make videos, and we can all kind of learn from each other, and you can search by toddler topics and what the topic is, so you can see everybody else's videos and get new ideas and stuff. So I think it's really neat. This week's topic is dealing with tantrums. And of course, because Alice is my first child, she is almost 20 months old now. She's our first child. I don't have like a ton of experience, and I know that her at this age and how the kind of tantrums we're dealing with are different than like what you would have with a 3-year-old. So this series I think is really going to help me to kind of get more ideas and kind of see how my cat's having a tantrum. Kind of see how other parents have dealt with things, at this stage that we're at, because pretty much at this point, Alice is a little bit too young for really understanding what it means when we are going to go down the slide just one more time and then we have to leave the playground. It just doesn't really sink in, or that something is going to happen in 5 minutes and she needs to wrap up an activity and kind of be ready for the next thing. Those transitions are difficult for us. Pretty much at this point, I'm just trying to, I try to focus on the positive. I try to give her things that she can do rather than having a lot of things that she can't do, and kind of reserve like really firm no for situations where something is really dangerous, or it's sort of a non-negotiable kind of situation. But she does throw tantrums. She started when she was around 14 months, and I just try to validate her feelings. I try to give her the language, kind of like, you look angry or you look sad, and just try to get her to kind of think about what that feeling is and connect it to the word. And as she gets older, she'll be able to maybe, verbalize a little bit more what she's feeling. One thing that we have had success with, though, so far is Alice has always had a problem during like the witching hour, like from say 4:30 to 6:30 at night since she was a newborn. I know a lot of kids have like, colicky kind of stuff around when they're really young around that time, and Alice did. She would cry for 2 hours during that time frame. She sort of grew out of that, but that is like one of our most difficult times a day. It's hard because, sort of ready for dinner. I'm kind of tired because it's the end of my day too, and everybody is just kind of getting fussy, plus you're trying to get dinner together, and it can be tough. And what has worked for us, our solution, has been to focus on sensory activities during that time. So I think sensory stuff is really soothing. I mean, even for adults, I think we really respond to sensory things that we like. So I try to give her every day, we do some kind of sensory activity during that time frame. And depending on how complicated dinner is, I can spend more time kind of with her doing something, or can be a little bit more independent activity. Sometimes it's 2 different activities, but it's really helped her kind of keep it together and have an outlet when she's feeling frustrated or tired or whatever it is, hungry. So around 4 o'clock, I do give her a little snack so that she can make it to dinner feeling pretty okay. I do also try to have on music that she'll like, so that there's something kind of going on, classical music or kids music, or something that it's not just like silence, and it's not just like talk radio or something. It's something stimulating. I really like her to help me get the activity ready. Kids love helping, I believe, and it can be really fun to kind of mix ingredients together, and that can be, that's part of it. So I'm just going to throw out a bunch of different ideas for different sensory things that we like, and you can switch it up. Like I said, she gets bored really easily, so we do try to do different things day in and day out. Of course, there's Play-Doh. You can kind of spice up Play-Doh by mixing in glitter, or I use flavor extracts to make it scented. She's never had a problem with eating it, but that way, if she did try to eat some of it, it would still be food safe. It would be okay for her. But with Play-Doh, we like to roll it out using rolling pins, use cookie cutters, use just like rubber stamps, stamp different shapes in it. All kinds of stuff you can do with that. She has a small box of rainbow colored dried rice to play with. It has a really nice texture, and we can put different things in it, or she can just run her hands through it. We also do take that outside sometimes, and she kind of like can toss it around. We've got cloud dough. This is, I don't know if I can demonstrate, but you've probably heard of it. All this stuff, you can Google it if you want to know the recipes, but this is just flour and baby oil, and it sort of forms a solid but then it crumbles really easily. I love this stuff, and I love the smell of baby oil too, so I really like playing with that. She has a sensory box that I do switch out some of the things inside of it, but the base is these dried lima beans. They're kind of like fancy colored, but they're just a different variety of lima. But you know, there's all kinds of, this is mostly Christmas stuff still in here. But she loves playing with these beans, and because they're so large, they're pretty easy to clean up. Another favorite is oobleck, which is water and cornstarch. It also has like sort of a solid, sort of a liquid consistency, and she finds it really soothing to just let it like run over her hand. So she'll like let it just run down. Let's see, we have a sandbox in the backyard, so when dinner doesn't need a lot of prep, we will go out and spend time in the sandbox. Okay, a few other ideas. You can fill up a large bowl with a little bit of water and soap. Fill it up so that the bowl fills with soap bubbles, and you know she can just play in the bubbles. You can make a finger paint that is made from Jello. Use half the amount of water required to make the Jello. That way it's scented, and after it dries, it's like scratch and sniff paint. Alice loves any kind of finger paint, so we do finger paint almost every day. You can play with shaving cream, either on a colored piece of paper, just with white shaving cream as finger paint, or you can color it with food dye. You can play with it in the bathtub or in the shower. You know, just strip the baby down and play with that anytime. It's easy to rinse them off. They're already in there. Let's see. You can play with these little puff balls, like these things. These are just from any kind of craft store. I've also gotten like a bunch of multicolored feathers to play with, and we used to put them in the pack and play. Put her in the pack and play full of feathers, and she would just, you know, flop around in them and stuff. You can also put the feathers in like a pillowcase. You can add in some of these foam letters that are from the like bath toys. But so there's different textures in the pillowcase. She can kind of feel what the shape is and then pull it out and look at the letters and the numbers and stuff. I don't know, the possibilities are endless. Those are just some things that we have done that Alice has enjoyed. Mess-wise, what works for me is to get like you can get a vinyl tablecloth, just the cheap tablecloths from like the dollar store. We do have something like a splash mat that we bought. It's sort of like more of a baby product, but you can just use a plain tablecloth and cut it to fit the shape that you need and put that down on the floor underneath like a messy activity. I use it sometimes outside with the rice so that when I'm done I can just, you know, pick up the rice on the tablecloth and pour it back into the container. We've got a couple of these bibs that we do use for food, but they are sleeved bibs / like art smocks. I don't really worry too much about the mess because it's already the end of the night. You know, the clothes are probably dirty. We're just gonna eat dinner and then take a bath anyway. But if you need to, you can strip down your kid to play with this stuff. If it's something messy, you know, just have them in a diaper naked and rinse them off or wipe them down, get through the rest of the night, and then clean them up later. So that is what helps us diffuse like the afternoon, you know, the witching hour tantrums. Hope some of those ideas were helpful. Like I said, if you want to know more about any of those things, you can Google for recipes. But if you have other specific questions, just let me know, and hope that helps. I'm so looking forward to hearing everybody else's ideas to get my own help. Talk to you guys soon.